And so the overall plan, end game, is to mix business with art. So what I've noticed was that a lot of distributors, they don't have an arts background, and filmmakers are artists. From the writer, all the way through post production. Those guys really are artists, and they have a hard time dealing with distributors because they're just business people. And so I think where my value came in was connecting both industries. The deliverables process, actually, I didn't realize how tough it was, how scary it was, how many filmmakers, how many deals fall through because filmmakers don't have their deliverables in order. Not just independent filmmakers, they're investors also. I think it's a good idea for both of them to sit down and talk with someone from the script, with the script, to iron out any problems right there. Because what I was finding in distribution was that, relationships were strained. So the investors were just grabbing the product from the filmmakers, running into my office saying, hey, why aren't you buying my film? It's like, well, come to my office and sit down and I'll tell you why. And, the biggest problem was with the script. They put so much time, energy. They may have a great cast, but if it's not in the script, if scenes are too long or, not directed, not lit properly, we can't accept it, or if we do, we have to put money into, trying to fix those. So I would always encourage investors, like, look, sorry you lost out on this one, but please try again. But first, come and sit down and talk with us with the script. So because it doesn't cost much, to make a few keystrokes on a computer, but to revise a whole scene, that's very costly. So with filmmakers, I have to tell them, that it's great that you found the money, but you have to listen. That's only the very, very beginning. Start listening to other people who are experts in every little segment of filmmaking. If you're a great filmmaker, that doesn't mean you're a great writer. So get a writer board. A few writers. Look at the script, iron out the problems. If you're a director, talk to other directors who've finished their films on time, under budget, so you can find out how to, efficiently, produce a film. All of that's going to save money. It's going to keep your investors happy. It's going to, create a great finished product. And of course, if you have your deliverables in order, it should make a smooth transition into distribution and, cultivate relationships with distributors and sub-distributors where, hey, these guys really got it in order. We got to work with them again. And ultimately, I think that'll make it easier for them to get funding for their next project. I think a lot of filmmakers, the first thing they do is, their end game is to get the film completed. When in reality, that's only half the battle.
Right.
If the best way to go about it is to have, your production budget, of course. Maybe you take a percentage of that production budget and use it towards distribution. It makes you attractive, at the end of the day for a lot of reasons, because your distributor sees that that they're not putting up all the costs. They're more willing to help you, or you may not need them at all, depending on how big that budget is. Right. So the business is changing so much now. This economy has made everything differently, and exhibitors are willing to work with filmmakers directly. You can put your own budget together and distribute the film yourself.
Exhibitors straight through the circuits, or actually through studios?
No, straight to from the can, straight to exhibitors, straight to AMC, straight to Regal, if they have those programs in place. But they are willing to work with filmmakers who have that. But you have to cultivate those relationships. There's so many facets of distribution. The P&A fund, Print and Advertising Fund, should include a marketing budget, marketing, key art, deliverables. So I'm not a good marketer. I can aid in research, but my brain doesn't really think that well of like, oh, maybe I can place it here, maybe I can get to this person, get to this magazine and try to get them on air. All that's part of marketing, and that's what you want your P&A budget for, is to hire the best marketing PR team possible to get your film out there. I've been in situations where I actually hired. Traditionally, I know that films hire a marketer, and a PR. They do it separately, but independently. You're on a limited budget. You want to merge those two, and so I've used a marketing PR person, and I mean she was great. It's just I would get a phone call. We're slated to go here, to interview here. We have talent, lined up to be interviewed on this day. We got the red carpet laid out. But that's not anything the filmmaker should concern themselves with. What they should concern themselves with is making sure that they put the right people in place to actually do those jobs, the same way that someone put them in place to actually do their job as the filmmaker. Filmmakers do not trust distributors, and they have every right to, because there's so many angles to take advantage of filmmakers if they don't know the business. If someone, always try to get as many offers as you can. Don't take the first one that comes your way. But get an attorney. Spend the money, get an attorney to look at the offers, so you can weigh the pros and cons of each. I know a lot of filmmakers, they want advances, 100,000, 500,000 advances, but filmmakers need to realize that if they get that 500,000 advance, they're not getting that money back. The distributor still is going to recoup that $500,000 before they start shelling out any other money.
With interest?
No, not with interest.
Okay.
But it's going to feel like interest because the distributor is still putting out money to promote the film. So that $500,000 advance, along with the say $3 million to promote the film, that's $3.5 million that the distributor is going to work on getting back before the filmmaker starts seeing another penny. So it's that, do I want to try to take an advance right now, and have to wait, or just wait and hope that I get the money, get something back, because if the film doesn't perform well at the box office, the filmmaker may not see a cent. So you have to be confident in your ability to make a good film, and demand the best deal. It's tricky, but one thing I will say, I think that a lot of filmmakers need to start paying attention to is try to get some type of open book policy, agree to some type of open book policy, see where those marketing dollars are being spent by the distributor. It'll save you a lot of money in the long term on legal fees when you feel you've been ripped off, and then you have to, go into their books and find out how the distributor, handles their books, because you don't want, a distributor who just throws everything into one pot, and then they're trying to separate, whose film is where these dollars go to. They're putting, PR all into one slot. You don't know how much of that is for your film. So you can almost demand, I would like to say, look, I want a separate bank account. I want a separate, separate everything for my film. So it'll make it easy for me to see where you're spending the money.
Well, that's good advice.
And that's the way we want to operate anyway. So.